All right, everybody, welcome back to this Monday
That
bonus
is
episode.
way too much energy for any Monday.
I do that on no, one other Monday bonus we did just to give some energy to a Monday because I know everyone listening to this doesn't have energy.
I know I don't.
No. I'm trying to help everyone out. Um,
Give some energy to the person who extremely hates Mondays and dread Mondays.
if you hate Mondays, I hope whatever, 10 minutes of this bonus episode, knowing us, it might be longer, or it might be like 2 minutes, who knows? Hopefully this gives you a little bit of joy. Just want to do a quick bonus episode. We're gonna do more bonus episodes, moving forward. I know I keep saying that, but I promise more to come. Um, haven't forgotten about you guys, you Monday haters, Monday lovers, whatever camp you're in. I just want to hop on. You may have noticed there was no podcast last week. I did post on social media that there wasn't going to be one last week, and we'd resume this week with our normal schedule. But I wanted to fill you in on this weird stuff. Very weird stuff that's been happening in paranormal land over here. Welcome to our podcast where we take deep dives.
Looking at various topics through a
Paranormal lens.
So let me paint you this timeline, okay? We investigated this place called Rosevere Park. It was our most, at the time, insane investigation and spawned our first short film, Afterlife. A lot of that footage mysteriously got corrupted, and the project file of the original YouTube video of the web series that we did got deleted, so I had to re-edit it. Not that it was a problem. I edited all episodes in 3 or 4 hours. So I had to spend another 2 hours on this. God forbid. A few years down the road, I'm gonna make a whole short film using the same footage. Got me really familiar with the footage, but whatever. Um, Not a big deal, but still, it was kind of odd. I didn't know why it was happening. Um, maybe it took me more than 2 hours to edit that one just because I was so frustrated. I'm like, oh, gosh dang it, 2 more hours. And by the time I stopped
Mwah.
complaining about how weird it was 4 hours. But then, anyways, fast forward, and we do investigations all the time where there's like weird equipment malfunctions. Um, Even recently, we're filming Piercini, the Plague in the that's a tongue twister, Plague
Plague in
in
the
the
Pines.
Plague in the Pines. There you go. Say it again for
I
me,
think I
Angela.
think it's only you
Plague,
who had
plague
think
in
it's
the
a tongue
pines.
twister.
Say it like 5 times fast though.
Plague in the
Plague in
pines.
the
Plague in
Pines.
the pines. Plague in the pines. Plague in the pines. Plague in the pines.
Angela,
Faster. I don't want to get put on this spot.
I want to put you on the spot
Okay.
because you said it's not
I'm
hard.
not. Oh God, I don't. This is the equivalent to reading out loud in a classroom setting. This is not nice.
Plague in the
Don't
Pines.
stop bullying Angela,
Oh,
Ben. How
okay.
dare you?
Oh, we need to change the name of this. We need to contact Mr. Tommy Tombstone. We need to change the name of this documentary because apparently just saying it out loud is the equivalent of bullying. I'll just chalk that up to a loss for you, Angela, that you, like me, cannot say it 5 times fast. Unless you
I
can prove
probably I
otherwise.
probably would honestly stumble
Okay.
on the third one.
Okay, so that's fair. That's fair. Anywho, while filming this documentary that only Brianna can say 5 times fast about Piercini, um, the camera, one of the cameras, started filming in a different color. And then it was later found out the sensor had an issue, a weird issue. Ended up getting resolved, but then the other camera that had no sensor issue was mirroring the known issue. So one camera had a known sensor problem that got figured out, or it was unknown initially, but it got figured out and ended up getting that fixed. But why did a second camera start filming all this unusable footage in a different color? Like all this weird technical equipment stuff that goes beyond just when people say, oh, ghost will drain your camera battery or your equipment, or it will use the energy of your equipment. We've noticed some weird stuff that goes beyond just that and beyond the investigations themselves. Um, Most notably when we were filming our film Dweller, which earlier this year screened across the country and ended up winning the best TV. What did it? I always forget what it won.
New TV media or something like
Something
that.
like it won an award. Okay.
Something
Um,
like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not focused
If
on the.
you're a true fan.
If you're a November fan, it.
Yeah, if you're a November fan.
Oh, in November. This is November. Hey, Novembers. Hey, Novembers. If you're listening, you're a true November fan. I'm so sorry we dropped this bit before we even entered November. But thanks for sticking with us. I'll have to ask HR about that. That was not cool. Someone needs to get fired for, establishing a bit and not following through.
So it's
I'm
gonna
not
be you.
firing anyone over this because I
I'm
think it's a
glad you
hilarious
find.
joke.
I'm
I know,
glad you
but we dropped
finally
the
admitted your
ball.
HR.
This should have been every episode in November. We should have had ASMR gratitude.
Uh,
No,
uh,
we're mid-November. It's not like we waited till the last week in November to bring this up. So,
that is true.
Um, Actually, I hate to break it to you, Bree. We record this in advance, so this is literally airing the last week in November. I'm
you are
so sorry.
correct. I
I
keep forgetting that we're almost all the way through November already. My brain has not been um, you know, actually paying attention to time because of hunting season, and I haven't been working. Like literally today was my first day back to work,
yeah.
and I don't even know what the day it
And
is.
that's gonna be a theme, our episode on Thursday, which was delayed a week. It has to do with hunting season. So we're in full on hunting season mode. Anyways, back on track here. What was I saying? What was the track? I totally got you railed. The
Um,
bits.
oh, you were
Bits will
talking
do it
about
to you.
Dweller.
Oh, Dweller, yes. While making that film, during an interview that we were recording over Zoom, my hard drive that I was saving the footage to literally moved on its own, and there were multiple witnesses. It moved on its own. On its own! It moved!
Yeah, I do remember
Whoa!
that.
And
I was
then
sitting on the couch, and I heard you guys freak out about it.
and then the zooms are glitching. So like the hard drive it was like out of a horror movie. Like the hard drive started moving and then the video started glitching. I'm like, someone's gonna crawl through this computer screen. This is like Ring for the modern age. It's just a Zoom call.
Hmm.
That's when she crawls through the TV, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
Angela's like, what the fuck?
Move
Angela's like, I'm
across
scared
to
of
the
TVs.
move across to the TVs? I don't know what you're
There's a
they're
movie
talking about.
called Ring. It's a remake of
Yes.
a classic Japanese horror movie, and this girl crawls through a TV and attacks people. And I'm just saying the equivalent in
Oh,
modern
that
age,
movie.
yeah, is a Zoom call. And this
Yeah.
experience was literally like if there was if I was plopped in a modern day remake of The Ring, that's the setup. That's how it begins. Um, Anywho, and there's all these other weird things. I was in the middle of recording a voiceover using a microphone very similar to the one I'm using now, and I just get up and maybe to go to the bathroom or something, and I come back and it's unplugged and the cord is like frayed, like destroyed. I'm like, well, I live alone.
I don't
That's
remember
not
this
concerning.
part.
Yeah,
I
and I
remember
took
it moving, but I don't remember it ever.
no, this was the microphone. This was later, and
Oh, the microphone.
I have a video of it after. Um,
Yeah.
so
I feel like I didn't hear about either of these events until like not a couple weeks ago when you told me about your hard drive. You're like, "Oh yeah, like all these things
do you not
happened
follow
with
us
Dweller."
on social media or read our group chat? I was freaking out, and I posted this on
I
social media too.
don't remember
You're
it.
just scared. You're like, I want to protect my space. I don't want to crawl through. Nothing's crawling through my laptop. What?
No,
Wait,
I
wait,
just
wait.
I
In the same breath, you want to start a podcast over Zoom? After all that shit, Ben? I
Yeah.
think you were trying to close
Anyways,
yourself off from the trauma.
it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible also that for some reason I blinked that part of everything out. Who knows? I
Who
don't know
knows?
my own brain sometimes.
But as we do find out in an upcoming film of ours, you are human.
Yes. Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
It's
Anyways,
all because of my great discovery that
yeah.
Brianna is human.
I was this morning actually I was like exporting the closed captions, which is the last and uh unquestionably most annoying part of the film process is making sure all the captions are synced up and shit. And it was when I was reading the captions that I really realized the greatest line in anything I've ever created ever. Angela just randomly says, "Well, Bree is a human," and I had to share.
Well, Brie is a human. Don't know what I was talking about.
I have
Why
no
did I
idea
say that?
either.
It makes more sense in context, but still limited sense. Anyways, I'm really bearing the lead here. The reason I'm just now exporting captions for this project that's been finished for 2 weeks is because I haven't been able to edit or do anything for over a week because I set this up with all this talk about how like things escalated, whereas like camera badges would die on investigations, okay. Then the cameras would change colors and have weird things and be unable to film. Okay, but why is the other camera now being affected? That's really weird. Oh, you're gonna delete the project file. That's really weird. Never has it gone to the point where what happened last week happened. My hard drive is plugged into my computer where I have all the materials, all the raw video, all the project files for this project. The hard drive, I mean, I've had the same hard drive for 5 years, similar brands and everything. I have a million of these things. This one that has this project, I was in the middle of uploading to the distributor. I just had to do the captions. It just, all of a sudden, I get up and I come back and it's just suddenly not showing up on my computer. I can't find it. It's plugged in and it says it's on and it has the light on. So it's registered as on. You can hear it making the humming noise, but the computer can't see it. I tried everything I could. No software, no anything could find it. Um, so I take it into three places. The first place, the guy seemed like genuinely like clueless, and he was like, "Oh, I'll have to keep it and look at it. Maybe look at it for a week or two, then I'll get back to you with a quote." I'm like, this guy doesn't seem like he's confident, and I don't trust him with all this footage. Take it to second place, and they're like, "Yeah, that's odd. There's no explanation for this." And like they were just like everything I said, I got hit back with really confidently. There's no explanation for this. And I was like, I don't like the sound of that. I want someone that can say, your footage is there because the hard drive is on and working. I'm going to be able to take the footage off this and put it on a new drive for you to, if you have to recover it, whatever, access the footage, the files, everything, and move it to a new drive. I take it to the third place and they say, I literally work with hard drives every day. This is what the guy said. He said, I work with these very exact drives every day. I've never seen this before. This is really weird. His words. Again, they just know I have a hard drive that's not being weird. They know nothing about like, oh, that's a paranormal movie. They know nothing. Like they're supposed to be confident and tell me, we want your
This is what
money.
they
We can
do
fix
for a
this.
living
Yeah,
for life.
yeah.
So
And
like
they're not primed with like paranormal shit, and they really obviously want my money to fix this. So none of them sound confident. But this guy said the magic words. He says, "Well, there's no good explanation for this," and that's all I needed to hear. No good explanation. So will you fix this? And he says, I will do whatever I can. I had to sign all these papers. There's like I spent a half hour there signing papers, saying that, they can, if this doesn't work, they're allowed to do this, and I understand the risks of this and this and this. And he said, okay, well, good news. Preliminary just checks. It seems like I can see the files. I just need to scan it, transferred and added to a new drive. Should be ready in a few hours. Well, a few hours turned to 2 days, and I was like, I haven't heard anything from them, so I'm gonna call them. And they said, yeah, we don't know why this is happening, but we set it to do it overnight, and every time we set it to do it overnight, just because we don't need it logging down our computer or whatever during working hours, whenever they set it and they're not looking at it, it stops working. So it
So
ended up
that means you
taking,
just have to stare at it nonstop until it's done, and then it'll
yeah.
work.
So it ended up taking not a few hours, it ended up taking a full week because they couldn't leave it to do it on its own. Otherwise, if they just left it and like left the room, set it for overnight like they do for a lot of these like just big transfers, they would just come back and there would be this weird thing that they couldn't explain what happened. And it got to the point they're like, yeah, it just stopped. I don't know. It didn't even say an error or an alert or anything. It just stopped. So they had
Hmm.
to just have it do it bit by bit, literally file by file, reconstruct this entire drive,
Wild.
and took over
Yeah.
a week. So it was literally like got right to the finish line of this project. And
And
then,
that happened.
oh no, gonna put a little pause. So it's just weird to me, and I know to a normal listener, maybe even you guys, that I might sound paranoid, might sound dramatic, but I'm dead ass serious about this. I really do think and believe, I thought this before, and I'm fully a believer now, that there's no investigations don't stop. You don't go if you think when you go to a haunted place and you're filming, and if you think you film the 3 hours that whatever that you rent the place, and you come back, you upload the footage, move on to the next, and call it a day. That's not how it works. It's not like that. Weird shit happens in the air sometimes, not bound to the location, bound to anything. Sometimes this weird shit happens that you can't explain at certain points in your life, tied to certain projects, tied to certain things, whatever. Weird shit happens, and these are often called synchronicities, call them signposts, call them shit to pay attention to. Every significant investigation we've done, most of them have led to major works, short films, things that have screened across a country, elevated works more than just same amount of footage, but still give more precedence to them and more, care to the final product, and they end up screening and resonating with a lot of people. These elevated works tend to come with a lot of weird shit
Yes.
around
Mm-hmm.
this time. When Dweller came out on Paraflix, the minute it got released on Paraflix, weird shit was happening in our apartment. So
Mm-hmm.
weird stuff happens. We've all experienced it. This was extreme. It's moved a hard drive, but to there's no explanation for this. Like there's literally no explanation. Everything has an explanation. Like we were talking about Madison, that voice.
Yeah.
That is disturbing to me because there is no explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, even a hard drive moving, who knows? Was there, did I set my glass down, pick it up, put the hard drive on? Was it a little wet? Was it sloped? Did someone thump downstairs? Who knows? There's all these things that in the moment when we're already creeped out doing a creepy paranormal interview, we could get in this hysteria of like if something moves a little bit and then it's elevated, and can we trust our memories? Did it just move a tiny bit or did it move? Well, who knows? I'm just saying there's all these explanations. This has no explanation. I can't
Yeah.
understate that
And no one could figure it out.
no one can
Yeah.
figure out. This was
Mm-hmm.
a true, unexplainable, I don't even know what to call it. It's not a malfunction. It's just this unexplainable occurrence with this hard drive. And I know, shouldn't trust hard drives, but I'm not anymore. From now on, everything is going to be backed up on 3 places. I usually back up everything after a project is done. Changing that before I even start anything, I'm going to back things up in 3 places. Might even invest in a cloud storage. I know for the podcast, can record to the cloud. I'm going to start doing that. And anyways, long story short, the reason I couldn't edit our podcast is because the podcast is saved to the same drive. So right after we recorded the podcast, this drive that was supposed to be in and out in 3 hours, I literally couldn't access the file to edit it. So that's why there's no podcast last week. And
Yeah.
I guess I just want to end this rant of mine on a plea. Anyone that is diving into paranormal filmmaking, invest in storage and backups, and weird shit will happen, and it will make you a better filmmaker. But just know, weird shit will happen, so you need to be a better filmmaker. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
am I paranoid or?
No.
No, I mean, I don't think with how many things have happened, even if it didn't have anything to do with paranormal stuff, if you were recording everyday life things and you've had this stuff happen so many times, I would also be paranoid and be doing exactly what you're doing.
Hmm.
Well, I mean,
Like,
this to that point too. This is my profession. Like, I am a
yeah,
videographer and filmmaker by trade.
yeah,
This doesn't happen with other stuff.
true.
It doesn't happen with your like regular normal work.
No.
Any of my work, I do freelance, I do all sorts of stuff. This doesn't
Uh-huh.
happen like to this degree. I mean, you
It's
have
literally only the paranormal stuff is where all this weird
Mm-hmm.
technology type things happen with.
Yeah. It's it's definitely a weird occurrence. I know, like, you hear when they're making reenactment movies or spooky horror films or whatever, they always say like weird things happen on set. It's like I feel like we're getting a taste of what that is and what they're saying, like weird things happen on set, except we're the things that we're dealing with when we're filming are usually very real compared to like the reenactments and horror movies and
Mm-hmm.
those sorts of stuff. And it just makes the thought that something could be interfering even that much more crazy. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but
it
it's
does. I
I Oh, keep going.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say for uh a next bigger film that we're gonna be doing about with one of our haunted objects and doing like a really big deep dive into it. It's I'm gonna be very curious if anything happens with that trying to interfere with us trying to get that out, you know.
yeah.
Well, I'm
I'd be
very
very curious about that.
I'm curious about that. I am, and I'm gonna bleep the name of this just because I know Bria and I have talked briefly about this, but I don't want the audience to know that this is coming. It's gonna be a surprise. People are asking about it. I've talked about it with a few people before, but
Mhm.
I am not curious. I'm concerned. I am worried about what's gonna happen around.
Oh, yeah. I with how much stuff
Oh,
happened before, who's to say? Like for real, honestly. Uh, I,
I don't even know if it's
it makes
interfere.
me
I don't.
nervous. It literally makes me nervous a little bit.
'Cause like
Because when it gets to the point where you're exposing something that people shouldn't know about, kind of like the whole situation with the dweller in a way. It's not like people shouldn't know about it, but it's something that the dweller doesn't want people to know about.
Well, it's the secret
If that makes
societies
sense.
too. For
Like,
decades, it was secret societies, and this was like hidden knowledge.
yeah.
what will it do to protect itself?
Yeah.
Is
And
also the
also at the
crazy
same
thing about
time, if something is trying if this is an actual entity, being, thing, or something in the universe that's trying to stop the distribution or the production from coming out, is it something that should really be coming out? Is there a reason why it's trying to be stopped?
it.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I tend to think of it
Oh, that makes me
less
so
of
excited about it.
yeah, but also in keeping up with the dweller, kind of idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a personification of like an idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I am thinking less. It's easy to fall in that trap when you're talking about Dweller specifically, because that's a film about a personification of an idea. So when external forces seem to be happening, you are in the mindset of personifying it as like something trying to interfere. But what if, and I think this might be the case of what's happening, at least it makes it seem less scary. What if it's less something trying to interfere and more, oh, this is just like a signpost, so to speak, of like you're on the right track. This is good what you're doing, and just kind of just like an outburst of energy, like something in the ether, the spirit sphere, whatever, is just like, yeah, you're doing it right, but like that energy just kind of zaps stuff
Mm-hmm.
or like
Mm-hmm.
messes with the equipment in a way. So
Yeah.
it's like this catch 22 of like, you're doing something right when this stuff happens. Pay attention to when it happens. I guess either way, pay attention when it's happening because it could be for good, could be for bad. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's definitely something to pay attention to in the future. I think it would be interesting to look further into it and see what is going to happen with these future projects that we have on the slate.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Paranormal Lens. If you liked what you heard, every 5-star rating and positive review tells the algorithms we're a worthy podcast and pushes us out to more listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll see you next Thursday for another paranormal deep dive.